Welcome to the Roulette Master TV, where we go back in time to revisit unbelievable roulette systems of the past. Today's system is one I'm going to be using at the casino tonight to win with, and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's jump right in and get started. This is the Roulette Master, and today I'm going to share with you an unbelievable roulette system called the Rule of Two. This was developed by Charles Blackley, and he says that he's making $500 every single day with this system, and he's continually testing it to see if it will fail, and he is just doing amazing every single time. So I can't wait to share this with you, and today we're going to test his incredible Rule of Two roulette system up against 9th Street Roulette in a head-to-head matchup, and I can't wait to see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. We'll start with 9th Street Roulette first, and then we'll get to the Rule of Two. This is going to be exciting. Let's place the bets, and here we go. We're going to have $5 on 9 streets to start, so let's go ahead and place those. So once you get to 45, you know you have the correct amount. Let's go ahead and spin, and I'll share with you the progression on this and the new system, and show you how to make money with both of them in the casino, and that's a 21 red to start. So that's a $15 win. We're at $15, so we're just going to rebet and spin, and then once we have some losses, I'll share with you what to do next. This is another fantastic system, and that's a 28 black. That's a $15 win. We're up $30 already. Okay, let's just rebet and spin. And his new system that's going to be coming up, I'm going to be trying at the casino tonight as well because it looks so good, and I think it's going to make a ton of money. And we just won again. We're at 45. Let's rebet and spin. And then I can't wait to share with you, how it does for me in the casino tonight as well. And I can't wait to see how much it makes while we're testing it today. And that's another $15 win. We're already up $60 with 9th Street Roulette. And once we have a loss, we'll get into the next part of this one. And that's a 3 red. And there's our first loss. So when you lose with 9th Street Roulette, you just double the bet from 45 to 90, and now we're going to try to get 2 wins before we reset. So let's see if we can get one here first. That's a 33 black, and we got it. So we're just going to rebet and spin at this $90 bet and try to get a second win, and if we get that, we're going to jump back to where we started at 45. Okay, that's another nice win. We're currently up $75. We're going to reduce the bet back to 45 where we started and spent. All right, here we go. And let's see what we get here. That's a 0, so we definitely lost that one. So we're going to double up again. We're going to go from 45 to 90 and spin. And we're going to try to get our 2 consecutive wins. And let's see what we get here. That's a 14 red. That should be a good one. Okay, fantastic. We're up 60. We're just going to rebet and spin, and you're probably seeing why we need to get 2 wins instead of 1 so that we can keep our profit moving forward. And that's an 18 red. That's another nice win. We're up $90 now. So let's go ahead and reduce back to 45. And let's see here. And spin. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get on this one. That's a 13 black. Another nice win. Okay, getting lots of wins because we have 27 numbers covered. We're up $105. And let's rebet and spin again here at base level and see how many wins we can get in a row. That's a 3 red. And that is another loss, so we're going to double up again. All right, 45 to 90 and spin. And boy, I'm really excited. I love this 9th Street Roulette, but I'm so excited to get to the Rule of Two. Both these, I think, are going to do incredible today. We're up $90 now, and we're going to drop back to 45. So let's go ahead and do that and spin. Well, let me fix that bet right. All right, here we go. All right, let's see what we get on this one. And tried to hit the 00, but that's a 27 red. And we'll take the win there. So we're up 105. And we're just cruising along with 9th Street Roulette right now. And here we go. Ooh, a 00. So that's another loss. And that's we got a 0 previously and lost, and that's a 00. So we'll double up to 90 and spin. And let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 13 black. Okay, that's a $30 win. We're going to try to get a second one and establish some new profit here. And here we go. That's a 36 red. but we lost. So we're going to have to double up again. We're going to go from 90 to 180 and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 30 red. There's our first win, and you can see we're only up 60. That's why we have to get a second win here before we restart. So let's see if we can do that. That's a 27 red, and we just have really nice coverage, so it's not that hard to get our 2 wins in a row. Now we're up $120, and we're going to drop all the way from 180 back to 45 where we started, and then here we go again. And this is a fantastic way to play roulette. That's a 16 red and a $15 win. We're up $135, and let's see how many wins we can get in a row this time. And we're going right toward that 0, but it missed it and hit the 28 black, and that's a $15 win. We're up $150. Let's rebet and spin. Talking about the zeros, I wanted to give a shout out to Michael that I met in the casino last night. Really nice guy, and he said he's going to be sending a system in, so I can't wait for that. We're up $165, and let's rebet and spin. He was betting a system where it was all around the zeros, and he hit 6 zeros out of about probably about 20 spins. So he was doing really, really well, having a good time at the casino last night. Let's rebet and spin, and here we go. And I love when I meet you guys out and see you in the casino. That's a 5 red, and lost there, so we're going to double up and spin. And watching some of these crazy slot videos should make you really want to play roulette. I saw one yesterday where a guy lost $1.2 million playing slots, so probably not a good idea. Let's double up from 90 to 180 and spin. And here we go. That's a 16 red, and that's our win there, so we'll rebet and spin. We just need 2 wins in a row, which we should be able to get with this nice high coverage system. And tried to hit the 00 there, but we got the win. So now we're back up $165. We're going to drop all the way back to 45 where we were before and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 6 black. And that is a loss, so we'll double up and spin. See, that's a 30 red. Okay, another nice win there, so we'll rebet and spin, try to get our second win. And here we go. That's a 24 black. There's our second win. We're up $180, so we're going to reduce back to 45 where we started and spin again. So cruising right along with 9th Street Roulette, and I'm already getting excited about the rule of 2 coming up. And there's another 0, so that's 3 of them that we've hit now. Let's double up and spin. And here we go. That's a 12 red. That's a $30 win. We'll try to get 2 wins now. And then we'll try to reset back to 45, back at base level where it's the safest. And that's a 34 red, though. That's another loss. So we're going to have to double up from 90 to 180 and spin. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, but you don't have to play for this much. You can easily play this with a $400 bankroll and dollar units. And even when you do that, it's still a $9 starting bet and $400 bankroll. We're up $135, and we need 1 more win here, and then we can reset. So let's see if we can get it right here, and that's a good one, 20 black. All right, fantastic. We're up $195, and let's go ahead and go back to 45 and spin. And here we go. And that's a 35 black. That's another loss. So we're going to need to double up again. So we're going to go from 45 to 90 and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 30 red. 1 win. Now we need 2. So let's rebet and spin, then we'll see where our profit is. And so far so good. That's a 13 black. That should be our second win. Again, you're going to get lots of wins with 27 numbers covered. We're up $210, and we're going to drop back to 45 where we started and spin again. All right, that is a 26 black. And that's a $15 win. We'll just see how many of those we can get before we have another loss here. And here we go. That's a 33 black. Another win. We're up 240. And you can pick any 9 streets that you want. You can move these around if you would like. No problem at all. And that's a 25 red. Okay, that's a $15 win. We're up 255. And let's spin. You can also play 9 street roulette like Kentucky White, where you start with 3 and then go to 6 and then go to 9. That's also another good way to play this. And that's another $15 win. We're up 270. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And if you do that, just you just double after you lose, and then you go from 3 to 6 to 9 streets. So that's a $15 win there. We're up 285. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 19 red. And let's talk about automated roulette machines, because we're up $300 here. And I know you can't play 9 street like this on automated roulette, but let me tell you a few things you can do, and that have really worked for me when all the tables are full and I go over play automated. We're up 315. And let's rebet and spin. So one thing that you can do, because if you the most it lets you play on automated roulette usually is 24 numbers. The only way to bet more than that, and we're up $330, is to actually have a couple of the wins that are, or a couple of the bets are slight losses. But it does keep you from having a total loss. So let me explain that as well. We're up that's a $15 win. We're up $345 already with 9 street. So one thing you can do with that is you can bet on 8 line bets or 8 double streets that are right next to each other that overlap. And what that does, and we're up 360, it gives you 27 numbers that don't lose, and although the ones on the outside are slight losses. And that's a $15 win. We're up 375. But when you put those double streets close together like that, they pay more because you're hitting 2 bets at the same time. That's a 17 black. But we're just cruising right along here with 9 street roulette. We're up $390. And let's go ahead and spin. But stay away from that Game King roulette. That is not that is not legitimate. But everything I've heard from everybody at the G2E conferences says that those automated roulette machines where the ball drops are legitimate. So I think that's great. And just don't play the ones that are like video games, or they look like a slot machine. So that's a $30 win there. We're up $375. Let's try to get a second win here at $90 with 9 street roulette, and then we'll close this out. And then I can't wait to see how much the rule of 2 makes from Charles Blackley coming up. So now that we got a win there, we're up $405. We're going to go back to 45 and spin. And here we go. That's a 34 red. That's a loss, so let's go ahead and double that up and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 32 red. There's a win. We need one more of those. We're up $390. Let's get our second win here at $90. And then we'll see how this closes things out in the last few minutes here. That's a 20 black, and that's our second win. Okay, so we're up $420. So we got our 2 wins, so we're going to drop back to 45 and spin again. And here we go. That's a 33 black. Just got it there, and now we're at $435, picking up $15 with each one of these wins. And let's see what we get here. Tried to hit the 00 again there, but we've hit too many of those already, so we're okay, and we're up $450. All right, here we go. With that system, Michael's going to be sending in another one of those ones that rewards you around the zeros. So excited to get that. We're at $465. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 16 red. Okay, and we're at $480. Let's spin again here. Okay, that's a 19 red. All right, and we're at $495. One more win, and we're up over 500. That'll set a nice bar for the rule of two, and I think it can even make more than what we've made so far with this one. But we're going to find out today, and that's a $15 win. We're at $510. We got about a little over a minute left with this one before we get to that new system of the day that Charles Blackley says is making $500 every time, and that is awesome. So we're at $525. We'll rebet and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's a 23 red. Fantastic. Okay, so we're at $540 and cruising along with 9th Street Roulette, one of my favorites, and that's a 33 black. That's another win. Okay, so now we're up $555. And let's spin again. But I'm really excited about the rule of two coming up. I'm going to be using that at the casino tonight. And I can't wait to tell you how it does. All right, so we're up $570, and time is expiring. So after 15 minutes with 9th Street Roulette, we made $570 profit. That's a high bar, but I think the rule of two can beat that. But we're going to find out, and we're going to test it out. And then again, I'm going to use that at the casino tonight and share the results with you. But first, let's test it out. Let's jump right into this system that Charles Blackley created, and I'm excited. Let's go. All right, the time is finally here for the incredible new Rule of Two by Charles Blackley. Let's place those bets. And what we're going to start out by doing is betting $10 on every double street except for the one that hit last. So let's go ahead and do that to start out. And here we go. But there's a lot more to it than that, and we're not always going to be betting 5 double streets. So that's a $50 bet. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go with the Rule of Two. That's a 13 black. And we got the win. Fantastic. So now we're going to bet on everything except for the double street that has the 13. So let's go ahead and put our bets out and spin. Once we have a loss, I'll share with you what to do next. That's a 32 red. Okay, that's a $10 win. So we're up $20 now. And we'll be on everything except for the double street with the 32. And let's go ahead and spin again here. All right, here we go. That's a 6 black. Okay, another good win. And we'll leave out that double street with the 6 in it. And again, we're not going to stay on 5 double streets. And we'll get to that once we have a loss here. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy winning. I love to win. And this is a real high coverage system where you should get lots of wins. That's a 25 red. And again, this is just a very small part of this system. It's going to get exciting here once we have a loss, and it's going to actually escalate the profits, which usually it's hard to make profits when you lose with this many numbers covered, and that is a 0. So we lost that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and double that bet and spin, and then if we get a win here, I'm going to share with you what to do next. So let's see if we get that win. That's a 7 red. We got the win. So now what we do is we're going to go ahead now and we're in the Rule of Two now, which means we need to get 2 wins. We're going to take out this one that just hit here. And now we need to get a second win because we're following, we got to win after a loss. So let's see what we get here. And that's a 0-0. That's a loss. So we're going to have to, so that's the second bet. So you don't keep the bets that we currently have now. We start over, but let's go ahead and see where we're at because you have to be at the same amount, and then we're going to double. So let's go ahead and take those off, and they were at 20 each. So the last one that hit before the 0 was the 7. So we'll be on everything except for that. And we don't stay with the lower bets, but we're going to have to go back to that. So we're in the recovery process still, but this is the Rule of Two. If you lose, you start the 2 bets over. And the first bet always starts with 5 double streets. Okay, there's the first win. So now we're going to go ahead and actually we were supposed to double because we lost that last one. So we should have doubled that one. So now you can see we're minus 50. Let's do one more at this amount, but we need to adjust this one here. So sorry about that mistake there, guys. So now I think we're good. See, 4 times 5 is 20, Yep, that is correct. Let's go ahead and spin, and then we're going to take one of these off after we get a win. That's a 24 black. Okay, we got a win. So now we're going to take one of those off. And again, this is because we're in the recovery process. So let's take that one off. And now we have to get our second win. And we still have pretty good coverage here. We have 24 numbers covered, but we have to get a win here to go back to where we started. And there's an $80 win. So you can see now we're back in profit again. We're going to go back to where we started, which will be $10 on everything except the last one that hit. But don't worry, guys. I know I made a mistake there, but we're going to go through all of this again, and here we go. Because they're in batches of 2. If you lose, you start the next 2 over, but this is in the recovery process, not at base level. So let's go ahead and put the rest of these out there and spin. All right, so now we go until we have a loss. Once you have a loss, then it's the rule of 2, and that's a 34 red. And the second bet has 1 less double street on it, and you double after you lose. So now we're going to be on every double street except for what hit last again because we won. And let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. Okay, that's a 12 red. And that's a $10 win. So now we'll bet on everything except that one. And spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 35 black. Okay, that's a nice $10 win. You can also play this where after every win, it's a rule of 2. But it's much safer to play this if you just do it in the recovery process. So again, you could do it where every time you win, you take one of these off and try to get a second win. But then it's a little bit, it's not quite as safe. So there's a loss there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to double up and spin. Now the rule of 2 starts. We have to get 2 wins in a row, 1 with 5 double streets and 1 with 4. That's a 13 black. And there's our win. So now we're going to go ahead and take off the one that won. And let me do that here. Okay, now we're at $80 total bet, but only 24 numbers covered now. And here we go. That's a 26 black. And we won. That's a $40 win. So now we're up $120. So now we're going to bet on everything except the 26. And I really like this recovery process. I'm glad I'm getting some practice because I'm definitely using this at the casino tonight. Getting some good practice in here as we test this together. And that's a 18 red. That's a nice win there. We'll leave out everything except for the 18. Or we'll put a bet on everything except for the 18. So again, once you lose, the rule of 2 starts. You have to get a win with 5 double streets and then 4 double streets. If you lose on either one of those, you restart the rule of 2. Okay, so we are currently up $140. And here we go. And let's spin. Here we go. And anytime you lose, you double the bet. That's a 6 black, and that's a win there. So we're up $150. We'll bet on everything except that. And spin. And I think we're going to do really well with this testing today. We're going to find out here, and then I'm going to let you know how I do with this in the casino tonight as well. It looks fantastic, and we're up $160. And you know, a lot of us have been trying to figure out the best recovery process for losing with high coverage. We've been working on that for a long time. This is about the best thing I've seen, and that's a 36 red. And we'll also see, what happens if you lose on that second attempt. And make sure you stick around for that. We need to see how this works, and so we can effectively use this in the casino ourselves. We're up $170 already, and let's keep the profits rolling. Here we go. That's a 28 black. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up $180, and here we go. There's our 5 double streets, and let's spin. And that's a 2 black. Another win there. So now we're up $190. And let's place those bets on everything except for what hit last and spin. And the great thing about people like Charles Blackley, like he just tests stuff over and over again until he finds something. That's what the channel is all about. And we lost that one, so let's go ahead and double up and spin. We need the rule of 2 down. We need 2 wins. And I'm just really thankful of all the people out there that love to test roulette systems every day. I think it's awesome. And there's one of the rule of 2. Now we need the second one. The second one does not have 5 double streets. It has 4, and we're going to remove what just hit. Okay, if we lose this bet, we start the rule of 2 again and double the bet. Okay, but we got the win, and that recovered. So now we're up $200. How about that? So now we're going to bet on everything except for that 31 double street. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 3 red. That's a $10 win. We're up $210. And we'll be betting on everything except for that first double street there that has the 3 red in it. And spin. And I think so many people are going to enjoy this because everyone likes to bet high coverage, but they don't know how to necessarily get their money back when they lose. And this is a great way to do it. We're up $220. And let's place those bets and keep making money with the Rule of 2 by Charles Blackley. Here we go. Okay, that's a 29 black. Another nice win. Now we're up $230. And those profits are really going up here. And let's see. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's an 11 black. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up $240. And let's spin. Okay, that's a 26 black. And that's a $10 win. We're up $250. Let's go ahead and place those next bets. And if you want to make a lot of money quick with this one, it's a little more risky, but still really good. You can do this on every spin, is the Rule of 2. So if you do that, what you would do is you would just basically, you take out the one that just hit, and then you'd play the next one with 4 instead of 5. But then if you lose, you would need to double, but you would make a lot more profit doing it that way. So you can play it either way, but I think that playing it this way, where you just wait until you have a loss before you start the recovery process, is the way to go. It's much, much safer, but still really good the other way too, because you still have 24 numbers covered, even on the lower bet. So that's a $10 win. We're up $270. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 15 black. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up $280. So again, if we were going to do it that other way, that where you could make more money, you would just take out this one, and then you would go again here with $40 and spin. We'll go ahead and do that with one of these just so you can see. But I like doing it in the recovery process, and that's what Charles, it says is much safer for you to do. And that's why right there, because if you lose, you have to double the bet, and then you have to restart. So we were at 10. That means we start the Rule of 2, and we go back to 20. So let's go ahead and place those next bets at 20. And here we go. And now we're in the Rule of 2 because we lost. So here we go. That's an 18 red. And we lost again. So now we have to double up again. We restart the Rule of 2 and double. And by showing you that other way of playing it, I might have got Charles in trouble here. That's a 3 red. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead now, and we're still in the Rule of 2, which means we have to get rid of one of these and get 2 wins. Let's go ahead and get a win here at this 160 total bet. Oh my God. Oh, what horrible luck. Okay, so we have to restart. The Rule of 2 starts over. So we were at 40. Now we have to go to 80 on each of those, and we'll be on everything except for that 3 that hit last. and we start the rule of 2 again. Sorry about that, Charles. We'll get it back here, though. And that's why, hopefully that helped you prove to you that it's better the other way, where you only do the rule of 2 if you're in recovery, not on every spin. So here we go. So that's a good learning lesson there. And there's 1 win, but this is the rule of 2, which means now we have to take one of those off and get a second win here, but we still have good coverage. We still have 24 numbers, so let's get a high number here. And I think we did it, guys. That's a 29 black. So that's a $160 win. Now we're back up $260. So now no more of that funny business. Let's go ahead and restart. And I think I proved the point of why it's better to just do the rule of 2 in recovery. The rest of the time, just enjoy making $10 per spin and keep increasing your profits. So that's a $10 win there. We're up $270. And here we go. But I'm definitely using this tonight. Not the way I just showed you, but the safer way of waiting until you lose to go into recovery and get your rule of 2. The rest of the time, just keep making $10 per spin. We're up $280. And here we go. And let's spin. Here we go. That's a 31 black. That's a nice win. We're up $290. And now we'll leave out the 31 and get us to $300 profit. And I think we'll be about to our 15 minutes. We're not quite there. We're almost there. So let's see if we can get a win here. That's a 4 black. And that's a win. So after 15 minutes with the rule of 2, we made $300 profit. And I can see how he makes $500 a day doing this. It's a fantastic system. And again, I would just do the rule of 2. When you lose, you double the bet, and then you start the rule of 2. If you lose on either one of those, you double the bet and start over. So if you're at 4 double streets, you don't stay at 4 and double. You actually double the bet and go back to 5. But then you have to go 5, then 4 to complete the rule of 2. So I hope that makes sense, and hope you really enjoyed this. Thank you, Charles, for sending this in. I'm going to be using it at the casino tonight. I'll let everybody know how much money I make with it, and I'm excited. So just really appreciate everybody on the channel sending these systems in. We've had some really great ones lately, and I think it's really exciting. And it's just fantastic that there's so many people that love roulette as much as I do and want to test it out every day. And that's what we do on this channel is search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And if you're enjoying that search with me, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.